Today, we are diving into one of the greatest intellectual showdowns in all of history, Newton versus Einstein. And this isn't just about physics. This is a story about how our entire concept of reality got turned completely upside down.
And it all really boils down to this one question. I mean, think about it. Everything you experience, the ticking of a clock, the length of a room, it all feels fixed, absolute, right? Well, what if it's not? Let's challenge that. Okay, so to really get this, we've got to go back in time. We need to understand the world that physics lived in for centuries. This was Isaac Newton's universe. And honestly, it was a pretty intuitive place. Everything worked like a giant, predictable, perfect clock. Now, the foundation of this whole world is something called an inertial frame. Sounds technical, but it's really simple. Imagine you're on a train moving at a perfectly smooth, constant speed. If you throw a ball up in the air, it comes right back down to your hand, just like it would if you were standing still on the ground. As long as there's no acceleration, no speeding up, no slowing down, no turning corners, the laws of physics feel exactly the same. That simple idea was the bedrock of, well, everything. And in this clockwork universe, the rules were super simple and absolute. Space and time were just the fixed stage where everything happened. A second was a second. Didn't matter if you were here or on Mars. A meter was always a meter, period. It was common sense. It just made sense. But as the 19th century ended, a deep crack started to appear in this perfect model. And the culprit? Something that seemed like it should be totally straightforward. The speed of light. So physicists back then figured, sound travels through air, waves travel through water, light must travel through something too, right? They called this invisible, space-filling stuff the luminiferous ether. The goal was pretty simple. If we could measure how fast we're moving through this ether, we could find the universe's one true stationary point. But here's the thing. They couldn't find it, no matter how hard they looked. Experiment after experiment, including the really famous Michelson-Morley experiment, came up with nothing. They couldn't detect any sign that the Earth was moving through this so-called light medium. Physics was staring at a massive paradox. And this is where reality just started to feel strange. Common sense tells you that if you're on a train and you throw a ball forward, the ball's speed adds to the train's speed. Simple. But light just refused to play by those rules. It didn't matter how fast you were moving towards a beam of light or away from it, it always zipped past you at the exact same speed. This single, totally bizarre fact just broke classical physics. And then along comes this young patent clerk named Albert Einstein. He didn't try to patch up the old broken theory. Instead, he proposed something radical, a whole new reality built on two incredibly simple ideas. And here they are. First, he took Newton's idea about inertial frames and just expanded it to include all the laws of physics, not just motion, but electricity and magnetism, the whole shebang. And second, and this was the real stroke of genius, he took that bizarre experimental fact about light and just declared it a fundamental law of the universe. The speed of light, he said, is constant for everyone, always. And with just those two ideas, Einstein did something revolutionary. He didn't need the ether anymore, so he just got rid of it. As he put it, it was simply superfluous. He realized the problem wasn't some invisible stuff in space. The problem was our own rigid ideas about space and time. So, here's the crucial point. If you accept that the laws of physics and the speed of light are the same for everyone, then something else has to give. And that something is our common sense. It's our entire understanding of space and time. And the consequences are truly, truly mind-bending. Okay, first up, time is not absolute. The faster you move through space, the slower time actually passes for you relative to somebody standing still. And this isn't just a feeling or a trick of your mind. Your clock, your actual clock, literally ticks slower. This is what we call time dilation. And it's not just time that gets weird. Space warps, too. An object moving at an incredible speed would actually appear shorter to you in its direction of motion. This is called length contraction. The very fabric of space is flexible. It can stretch and shrink. Now, this one is maybe the strangest of them all. Let's say two things happen at the exact same moment for you. Well, for another person moving past you at high speed, those two events might happen at completely different times. The whole idea of a universal now that we all share, it's an illusion.
So what happened to Newton's nice, fixed, absolute stage? Einstein demolished it. He showed us that space and time aren't separate things at all. They're woven together into a single four-dimensional fabric that we call space-time. And how you move through space directly affects your journey through time. And all of this led to the most famous consequence of all, an equation that didn't just explain the universe. It unlocked the power hidden inside the atom itself. You've seen it a million times. E equals mc squared. But what does it really mean? It means energy and mass aren't different things. They are two forms of the exact same stuff. Mass is just an incredibly concentrated, bottled up form of energy. The real power in that equation comes from the c squared. I mean, look at that number. The speed of light is already enormous, but when you square it, you get this colossal number. That's the universe's conversion rate. It shows that locked inside even a tiny speck of mass is a staggering, almost unimaginable amount of energy. And this isn't just theory on a chalkboard. This is the reason the sun shines. It's how nuclear power works. And it's the terrifying principle behind nuclear weapons. It also explains the universe's ultimate speed limit. As something with mass gets faster and faster, its energy increases, making it harder to accelerate, and to reaching the speed of light itself would require an infinite amount of energy. So this whole journey, from Newton's predictable clock to Einstein's strange, flexible spacetime, it proves that even our most fundamental ideas about reality can be completely overturned. And that leaves us with one heck of a question. What common sense rule that we live by today is just waiting for the next Einstein to show us that it was really just an illusion all along?